Whoops. I might have it. Bear with me. Okay. Now I gotta check my laptop. Or if you're watching and still with me, let me know with a comment. That would be great. It keeps going. Okay, I gotta get to my channel and manage. And then I need to go to live. There's so many steps. Okay, now I don't know which one is live and which one isn't. So I'm gonna guess it's that one. And I think I'm good, but I don't see it on my laptop. So maybe you could comment, and that would be great. If you can see my hands and it looks normal horizontally shown, that would be great. I'm going to see what that, nope, that doesn't work. I think I'm good, but I just really don't know. I can't see any comments. And I don't know about streaming. It says I'm live. I don't know. I'm so sorry. Can somebody comment? I don't know if there's anybody out there watching, but I don't want this to be a failed mess. I'm going to push another button and see what happens. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Oh boy. Hi Karen. Okay, Barbara, can you see everything correctly? Like my cards, my little info here, a yes or a no would be perfect because I can't get it to come up on my laptop for some reason. It's just weird. And I'm trying to watch my screen on the camera, which I am filming on, and don't see anything coming up yet. We'll get this fixed. I'm not sure why it's not coming up. It says one is waiting, upcoming, and then I'm going to video live. Oh, I think it's working. It's working. Hey, Barbara, can you message Debbie and let her know that she should refresh her screen to see my channel the correct way? Whew, that was a little crazy. So I'm going to let you guys find me. Hopefully you can find me. If not, the replay will be there. But you've got some beautiful cards in front of you. This is my monthly card club this month. We are using the Regal Winter Designer paper. It's gorgeous. And also we're using a kind of a different stamp set. It's called My Small Business. So I bought this one mainly because I like to send thank you cards, whether it's a thank you for like a gift or someone orders for me, joins my team, what have you. I just love to send thank you cards. I know a lot of the younger crowd somehow miss that. They don't write thank you cards. At least one of my kids does. And I sent him a little note the other day, and he received my card today. We were cleaning out my mom and dad's house, and I came across 2 notes that my youngest son wrote to his grandparents. One was just letting him know to thank him or them for their donation to one of his service trips when he was in college at Merrimack in Massachusetts. And the other one was wishing them a happy 60th wedding anniversary and to thank them for being such great grandparents. And that, when I came across that, I'm like, I am saving those little notes. It wasn't a card, it was just on some paper. I'm sure he sent a card with it, but it was a note inside that card, wherever that card may be. And I just went, so incredible. So I sent him a card last week and he got it today. And he said, thank you so much for saving my thank you notes. So I think it's like just a little circle that just keeps running and running and running. So if you are a card maker, make lots of thank yous, thank you cards, because maybe that will get ingrained in the younger crowd. Not to pick on the younger crowd, but I see that quite often. Maybe it's just my family, my extended family on both sides. Who knows? But anyway, I like the small business stamp set because of the thanks. And then I really like this one, handmade for you and made with love. And these little hearts I use on all the envelopes, and you can stamp it on the inside of your card as well. And I do use this little present here. So I did not use a shopping bag because it didn't really work with the cards that I'm making for a card club. But with my card club, you can totally use whatever sentiment stamp sets that you want. A lot of times I work with a bundle, but this time I just chose a stamp set. I think it's like $20 or so. You can order this with my card club if you don't have it. So these are the cards that I came up with, and it says your support deserves a big, and then on the inside, thank you. I like that little font too. And then my next card that we'll make is made with love. And if I can, I don't know why I can't get that ribbon to work where it's the flat side, but every single time I tried to tie that knot bow, it wouldn't work. And then here is where I use that present. I use Wild Wheat and Blackberry Bliss for my Stampin' Blends. Just a little cute little present down there. And I could say, I don't know if there's another stamp that made with love. I'm just thinking, I don't know, that would go with it. But anyway, I like this one because we're using both sides of this paper here. The third one is a general just thank you. I will teach you how to color your pearls. These are the iridescent pearls, and you can see two of them are colored in Blackberry Bliss, and the other one up here is Night of Navy. This is a bookbinding card, plain and simple. And then this is the best, I think, the best one. It's the most gorgeous card. It uses the new dies called Christmas labels. And I did color these little pearls with Night of Navy. They kind of look like our old Marina Mist color. It's a little bit lighter than normal. This is our Night of Navy here, our card base, but I don't know, it colored a little differently, and it's probably because the pearls are white, so it's going to come out a little bit lighter. But I'm going to show you how to use your ribbon to create this like rectangle effect there. So, and on the inside, very simple. So I used my scraps. A lot of the strips are just scraps from when I cut the designer paper. So I'm going to show you what I was talking about on the Christmas labels. It comes as a bundle. And I created my template last night. It looks like this. And it's just a sentiment stamp set, but it coordinates with all of these dies here. You get 4 dies, and these cut really nice. This one's a little tricky, but if you use wax paper and you rub wax paper on the cutting side, it's going to work a lot better for you, because this is really tiny and lots of little curves here, and it sometimes won't punch out, but you use your little pokey tool and it'll work. But over here, I just love all of these sentiments. To you, believe, warm and cozy, peace on earth. I like that little font there. Celebrate the holidays in all the ways. That's really small. I'd have to look at that one. Love and joy. Hope your season is filled with magic. Be merry, sweet as sugar plum candy. That's fun. If you're a craft fair, this person that makes items for craft fairs, that's really cool. Hot chocolate. Lots of people do those little hot chocolate packets. Winter Wishes, that's a good one too. So think about this one. The dies are great for all kinds of like packaging as well. I flipped over the to the back side. I have photocopied the page in the catalog. It's on in the mini catalog 2024 September to December, and it's on page 40. If you don't have a catalog and you would like to receive one, you'll have to shoot me an email. And only those customers that are not working with a current Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. But the bundle here is, let's see, it's 10% off, so it's $46.75. The item number, if you want to jot it down, is 164101. And when you purchase the bundle, you always save 10%. So purchasing them individually, the stamp set's 24 and the labels are 28. You might as well just purchase the bundle. And I just love this over here. I'll have to learn how they cut that out because that's super cool. I think it uses some of that foiling paper. But look at this one here. This is what I mean about this really works well. This here is a box that was created. They're using the little dies over here. Probably heat embossed this in the cardstock's Night of Navy, probably heat embossed in white. And then there's little tea candles under here. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but if you put a clear window sheet here, it looks super cute. So I really like this. I just started playing with it this past week. Probably card club for next month. It's definitely going to be Christmas, and I'm thinking about this one, but we'll wait and see what inventory is all about. So couple things I put out here as just simple reminders. You can purchase the starter kit today and all the way until October 31st for just $99, and you will receive $155 worth of Stampin' Up! Products. So you could include that bundle or anything that you need. If you're just starting out, maybe some note cards and envelopes, some memories and mores, and maybe look at a sentiment stamp set or just something that gives you like sentiments and maybe some images as well, and maybe 3 or 4 different colors that coordinate, and of course designer paper. So and then another thing is you can join our team at inspiredbygram.com. Make sure I come up as your upline, and then it's just a simple process. Takes about probably 10 minutes to do that. Card Club subscription information, I sent out my email, and I know you probably can't see that because I'm looking at my monitor right now. It's really small font. So if you want to take a little snapshot of this, that is the link you can use to get more information on my Card Club subscription. I am running a special for the month of October. It's only $36, and that would be for first timers or returning Card Club subscribers. So $36, and you get $20 worth of Stampin' Up! Products. I believe I went over by a few cents maybe, but at least $20, and it includes shipping. So a great deal this month, and then normally it's $39.95 after that. So again, here is that link. I will put it in the description box as well, so you have that information. And I'm not going to tape it down on my desk because it's honestly, well, I don't know if you can see it or not. Maybe I will. That way you could take a screenshot of it if you're interested. I know I've got some team members watching me tonight, which I very much appreciate. I gave them our weekly update live on our Facebook group page and told them, please come over and support me like I know they always do. And I knew Carla would be the first one here, so I'm back. All right, my goal is to come live on Mondays at 7 p.m. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so for Card Club, I have one packet already made up. So this is what you would receive. You're going to receive for October Card Club. And it usually ships about the last month of each month, around the 25th to 28th. Once in a while, it'll be a little late just because lately it's been a lot crazy with my parents' estate. But I try to stay true to my words and ship around the 25th, 26th. But this month, you'll receive 4 sheets of cardstock and a half a pack of the Regal Winter, some ribbon, and all the card kits. So I'm going to open this up so you can just see what you would receive in this package. And people that are with me for 6 consecutive months, they receive a surprise package of $25 worth of Stampin' Up! Products. Hold on, my ribbon just went flying. And they never know what they're going to get. And it's usually consumables and something I know that they would enjoy having in their craft room. So the package looks like this. I put this separately. You'll get 1 yard of the Blackberry Bliss in gold 1/2-inch textured ribbon. And if you don't have this right now, you kind of need it. It's so pretty for Christmas or anything, really. I just love the gold on it. It does work really nicely. Here you can see I used the ribbon for the tag here. Handmade for you. And there's one of those little pearls. I did not color that one in. So every month I put a little tag and kind of bundle it together so it all stays good and organized for my participants. And I know some of my card club members, they keep the tags and they have them hanging on the wall. And honestly, I think I've got maybe 5 people that have been with me since day 1, and they must have a lot of tags. I know some of them really do keep them. I have another member that actually makes cards with them. She uses them as card fronts, which I think is a pretty cool idea. All right, so I'm going to keep this kind of nice and crisp over there. Here is my information. So if you have any issues, missing something, you don't understand something with the card process, you've got all my information. It's on the back here. This QR code gets you to my website, and here is all the information. Inspire others to create. So I love to do that. So that is always in there. Kind of protects the, oh, look, I totally messed that up. That one was going to get 2 of those pearls. We'll just take that one. I knew I was missing one last night. But I use this also to just package and to protect the embellishments. You always get an embellishment, and the ribbons kind of hit or miss. It just depends. I've heard from my customers that they would rather have cardstock versus all that ribbon. So that's something I've changed about maybe like 10 months ago. And then here are the little card kits. You don't, this is extra cardstock. In the card kits, you get all of it. And I'm gonna go through one design, each card tonight to show you what you would receive. You're responsible to cut your designer paper because I don't want to select the pattern for you because my taste might be a little bit different than yours. So I always like to let the customer decide on what pattern they like to use. But I've got 2 card kits in here, and they're marked card 1, 2, and then I flip it over for packaging, 3, and then 4. Once in a while, you'll have more, but most likely you'll get 8 kits total and 2 of each design. And here's the 1 yard of ribbon. And then I've already cut my designer paper. So this is how it comes. It comes 6 by 12, and you get 12 sheets in there. And then it prices out where you receive 4 sheets of cardstock. So this month I am including Berry Burst, Shaded Spruce, Wild Wheat, and Basic White Thick. And these are, I only used this one here, Wild Wheat, in one of my card bases. It works with a lot of the papers, so that's why I included an extra sheet there. So that is the the consumables. And then I have my instruction sheets, and you receive this printed in color. You don't need to print it out. I print it out for you so you're ready to go when you have it. And then here are the instructions. Each page is the same. We've got our main supplies, tools and such, measurements, and our directions. And you can see there's not a lot of directions. Quick and simple card making is Karen, and that's how I love to just use designer paper, because I think our designer paper really does sell itself. On the back side here, there is a supply list that tells you all of the Stampin' Up! Supplies that I used for that particular month. And that just helps. I know sometimes it will help me out if I'm looking at someone else's supply list. Sometimes those colors are a little close, and like this one, for instance, it looks a little pinkish, and that's because my printer, but it's actually cherry cobbler. So instruction sheets, and I also send this as a PDF to your email, and I have step-by-step instruction sheets, including an introductory video is what I wanted to say. So 5 different videos. All right, Regal Winter. This, if you don't have it, I suggest you purchase it, or you belong to my card club and you'll get a 6x12 full pack. It's just gorgeous. You can use this all through the year, all 12 months. You can use it for Christmas or non-traditional Christmas cards. And you can see I used it for thank you cards this month, but the front and backs are just really, really pretty. So, and then here are the sample of the cardstock colors as well. So that is my little DSP sheet. And if you would like, I'm thinking about offering these as a purchase. So let me know, shoot me an email, Karen@inspiredbygram.com, if you would like me to investigate on pricing and what have you on these designer series paper template charts. Okay, enough of that. Let's get working here. So here again is the stamp set I'm using, My Small Business. It's a photopolymer stamp set, so you'll need a piercing mat or something that's forgiving so that the images stamp well for you. And another thing, when you get a photopolymer stamp set, what you need to do, and I don't have one right now, is all of these they come with some film on them, like maybe a little bit of some type of oil. And if you just take an emery board lightly and you just go, across it or up and down, it kind of takes that off, and you'll notice a difference in your stamping. So when you stamp with a photopolymer and it doesn't come out correctly after a couple of times, clean it off, get an emery board and just lightly sand it and try again, and I guarantee you it will definitely work. I'm also doing this, which is new. I make a photocopy of the front and I cut it down and put it on the left side, because I can't read upside down, and this is so much quicker for me as well. I'm going to look back at if you have any questions after each card, but we are going to get started making your support deserves a big and thank you. So let me grab my kits. I've got them in order here, so hopefully they're correct. We need Early Espresso ink, and Early Espresso is the brown that's in the card right there. And then, yeah, let me grab my stamps. I've got them all in a nice little bin so I can see them. We've got thank you, and then your support deserves a big. Okay, so your kit comes like this. Oh my gosh, I can't think tonight. I worked at my day job. That's why I scored and burnished them all for you, so they ship really nicely. They don't get bent, and you don't have to do that step either. This, I will not cut your DSP for you because it's just way too crazy to do that. And I want you to pick out your paper and your choice that goes with the wild wheat. You don't necessarily have to use what I use. So what I suggest you do is first find the items that you need to stamp on. So I know I need my sentiment strip my inside panel and my envelope as well. Tonight I'm going to use my little craft sheet here. I think this works also really nicely with photopolymer stamps. You just have to be careful because on one of the corners here, right over here, it does have the Stampin' Up! Logo on it. So don't stamp on that corner. Usually I'll put it up in the upper left corner, but this gives you some forgiveness when you stamp. I'm going to go with the hardest one first, which is that little strip. And got my ink. And also, I'm going to move this stuff out of the way because the more desk space I have, the better it goes for me. All right. I got my ink and my stamp. And let's see how I can stamp. This is 4 3/4 long here and half of an inch, I believe. So I got to try to get this centered and straight, and I'm looking at this at an angle, so we'll see how well I did. Not too bad. I like that. So that is all done. And then this is a horizontal card, so make sure that you are stamping horizontally. You don't want to make an accident and stamp this way, and then you've got a card that doesn't work. Okay, so double check your direction. This is going to just say thank you. And I love the font on this one. It's pretty fun. And guess what just happened? I think this is good luck, right? I just had this little ladybug come and pay a visit. It just flew right on my desk. So we'll let this little ladybug sit there for a while and see what it does. Oh, on the back side of my cards, I have this old retired stamp, which I really like. It says a paper hug from me. So while I have my ink out, I'm going to have to put this little ladybug on something else. Let's see if I can get it to go over there. There we go. I need my card base. I'm going to just flip this over and stamp on the back side. You can use your Stampin' Up! Angel Policy stamp. If you're selling your cards, make sure you have the copyright Stampin' Up! On there, so that abides by the Angel Policy. All right, so we got all of our stamping done. Now it's just really quick assembly. But first, we need to take our square. And this is I think it's 3.5 by 3.5. It's a definite square, so it really doesn't matter. I wanted to show you how I do cut this. So what I do is I look at the direction, because this is somewhat directional. So I'm looking at the flowers to see what direction they're going. You're going to want to cut this piece at 1 1/4. Keep it in order. And then 1. And then 3/4. So you're just reducing down by 1/4 of an inch. And then you're left with a 1/2 inch. Okay, so let me just put these in order up here. You can also, if you mix it up, you know how you cut it. 1/4, 1, 3/4, and you're left with a 1/2. Okay, so just put that on my floor. I'm going to bring in my silicone craft sheet to protect my work surface. If this is too glary, let me know. I did change up my location in my craft room as to where I am live tonight. I'm going back to my very first location in my craft room. All right, so we got to make sure that a paper hug from me is on the back side. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the early espresso panel that's included and already cut for you, and you're going to add some adhesive to it. I'm using our seal. We also have Seal Plus. It's super sticky, and multi-purpose liquid glue. I kind of go here and there and everywhere with my adhesive. It just depends on what I like for that particular day. All right, so we have that, and now the next thing I would like to do is I'm going to take the left strip and the right strip. And I'm going to work outside and go in. That way it's a little bit easier to place the two sections in the middle there. So what we'll do is we'll take this one, and don't forget, you got to get these, keep these in order, going the right direction. Basically, you don't want to flip them over because then the pattern won't be right. I'm looking over here. I want to get about 1/4 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch up here and 1/4 of an inch down below. And I'll press that down, and I'm going to do the same thing over here on the right side. I'm just using like 1/2 inch tick marks with my adhesive. And again, I'm going to come in about 1/4 of an inch from the right side. I'm just eyeballing it right now. And before I press this right down, it's a little crooked. Oh, this one's a little crooked too. So I guess they kind of match. Let me see if I can pull that up. This is going to be tough. Oh, I think I got it. Sometimes if you don't press too hard on that seal, it will come up. You can also use your heat tool gun as well. Okay, I think this just got to go, the top goes to the right a little bit. If I want exact, I'd get my ruler out, but honestly, I don't want exact. Then it would be perfect, and I don't like to be perfect. You've got to have some forgiveness there. Okay, so that's what I kind of want to look. I want to make sure that it's going to kind of spread out evenly. So let's take this one here, and we're going to adhere that one on the left side. And this is a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch. And I'm not going to press it down all the way because just in case I have to move it. And again, we're going to do the same process with the smaller strip. This is the 3/4 of an inch size. And if I put this together, our puzzle would be together, but we're going to spread it apart. And that looks pretty good. I kind of screwed up over here. This is a little bit too small, but I don't care. We're just going to press that down. And then we're going to work with our sentiment next. So we'll flip that one over, and I'm going to grab my Stampin' Dimensionals. I like to work from the outside in. So this one will probably need about 4, maybe 5. And the middle there, because we don't want this bending on us. So I think I'm actually going to put 5 on this one. It might be overkill for some people, but I honestly don't want it to bend. Press those right down, and I'll just take these right off real quick with my retired piercing tool. I just love these. So much easier for me to handle. And see, they all come right on that little Sharpie point, and I just threw those right in my wastebasket. This here can go anywhere you want. I kind of like it at the bottom and about 3/4 of an inch up. And I didn't cut this one right. Bummer. But that's okay. We can kind of, I don't like that. Why did I not cut that right? Because I want it extending. Hold on just a second. Because that's not right, and it's going to bother me. So let me just, I have all these 1/2 inch strips at my printer, so I'm just going to cut this down. It's the same thing. Why is that? I think this is wrong. The early espresso is wrong. It needs to be a little bit smaller, so I think that's the problem. So for this card only, don't worry, you'll get it correct. This is why I like to redo my instructions to make sure they are correct. And I'm going to just restamp that in my early espresso. I think it looks pretty cool when it's outside of the edge of the early espresso. There. All right, now that I just wasted a few dimensionals, I will reapply more dimensionals to this other strip. I will actually save that one and use it on some other card. You'll just get to see me do this twice. Okay. All right, let's grab our piercing tool and we'll take these right off. I think I have all of them. This is our card. I'll save that one for something else. And then, hopefully this is correct. Yes. So I'm looking at, most importantly, let me get my piercing tool so you can see it better. I'm looking at the spacing. So I have about the same on each side, so that that little pearl that we're going to add on looks uniform. So I'm not going to press that on entirely. I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to take my stamped panel, and I have a strip here that's just random. I like to be colorful on the inside you can do that simply by just adding a strip of designer paper. Just make sure it's going correctly. Just quickly look at the pattern. I think that's good. Also like to leave a little bit of white space on the right side of it. Or if I was to put it horizontally, it would be white space down here. Just thinks it sets it off a little bit easier, and it's okay if you're a little bit crooked. That way you're not lining it up on the edge. Okay, there we go. So that looks pretty nice. I like that font. And now we'll set this aside. I'm going to grab my iridescent pearls. And I have a new way to store them. This is the way I have figured it out. It's going to work best for me. Whenever they're little pearls that I know can easily come off, I put them in, these are like passport sleeves. And I got my information there to protect them. If there's something bigger and I know they won't come off, then I will just put them in this. These are our die cut little envelopes, and these work perfectly for our embellishments. Maybe you could even get away with adding ribbon, but that would be a little bulky if you ask me. But I really like that, and I just started working with it last week, and so far so good. All right, so I'm coloring in 2 of the pearls using my dark wild wheat, and you can see it's a little bit lighter than normal, and that's because I'm coloring over the white. I'm going to add 5 embellishments on this, 2 for the strip, sentiment strip, and then 3 randomly. Our Stampin' blends are alcohol based, so we don't have to worry about them smearing anything. Don't use your Stampin' Right markers, because then it will smear, because that's a water-based ink. This is alcohol-based. Okay, just added that one on here, and then right about here. And then I got these 3 small ones randomly. I'm just going to put them in like the open space here. So there's one up here, maybe one way up there. And then to form our triangle, we're going to go probably right about, oh, let's go like over here. All right, so that is card number 1. It took a while, but normally it wouldn't if I would have cut my early espresso correctly. But live and learn. My envelope here, let me stamp that. Every envelope I stamped with the little heart that's included. And I just use to make it simple, I just use the ink color that I stamped my sentiment on. So everyone gets a little heart. You can always stamp on the back side here too, maybe in the middle. You can't just have 1, so let's add 3. Okay, so something like that. put designer series paper on there. That always looks nice too. So that is your card number 1. And let me just show you the difference. Mega long sentiment strip here on the left side, and this is the correct side. And it's definitely, oh yeah, definitely the early espresso that I cut too long on here. I got to pay attention to my sizes, but I think it's really cute. Thank you card, quick and simple. Doesn't use a lot of designer paper. You can mass produce this so super easily. So that is your card number 1. Let me just match up my envelopes here so I'm good to go. Let's see, Blackberry Bliss, early espresso. Here we go. All right, so that's card number 1 for Card Club. Card number 2 is Made with Love and includes that gorgeous ribbon. I am going to go grab, wait, where's that ribbon? It's right here. So I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to bring it way up. Sorry about my wrinkly hands, but I just want you to see how that shimmers and shines. It's really nice. Okay. This one uses both sides of the paper. Here's my kits. You'll get the Blackberry Bliss, very, very beautiful, one of my favorite colors, card bases. You'll also cut your designer paper to what you want. You have a 4 by 5 1/4 panel of white, and you'll get the die cut. This is the Stylish Shapes, and it's the circle. It's the next to the last smallest circle. And then you'll have a panel of a Night of Navy. I've cut it 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So when you cut your designer paper, it's going to be easy for you. 3 3/4 by 5. I'm going to do my stamping first. So let's find that stamp, Made with Love. And I don't think I stamped anything on the inside. Let me just double check. Oh, that little present. Let's get that one out too. I saw the ladybug. It might come over in the picture soon. All right, I'm going to close up my early espresso because we do not need this one. We will need our Memento Black, and we also need our Blackberry Bliss, which coordinates with the card base color. Let me grab my piercing mat to stamp on. You can use, not a piercing mat, my silicone craft sheet. Another thing you can use is a Stampin' pierce mat. Okay, there's the Made with Love. And then we'll take this white. Since we're using Stampin' Blends, we need to use our Memento Black. Memento Black and Stampin' Blends work together because they're alcohol based and the black will not smear. Just going to stamp that right down in the lower corner. Let it dry. About 30 seconds is really all you need. And then I'm going to clean that heart stamp with our Stampin' Scrub. And I've got my Stampin' Mist. There's lots of Stampin' in stamping, right? I'm just going to wet that side. The left side is our wet side, and the right side is the dry side. So we're going to clean it over here. And then we're going to dry it over here, like wash and dry. And my block is a little wet, so I just can take my fingers there. You could use a cloth, or you can just let it dry. All right, so let's grab the card base. We'll flip it to the back side, and I'm just going to find my Blackberry Bliss, which is still open, and we're going to stamp a paper hug from me. Okay, simple. And I think what else do we need? Our envelope, wherever my envelope went. I'm going to, doesn't look like it's very clean. I'm going to clean this one too while I have it. And Made with Love, why not? Get them all clean. I'll take my Blackberry Bliss and I'm just going to stamp those 3 little hearts in the lower corner there. And then all of our stamping is completed. Our designer paper, we started with a piece that's 3 3/4 by 5, and then it's the reverse side. So what I wanted to do is get both sides of that paper on the front. So this piece here, again, I cut it 3 3/4 by 5, and then in my trimmer I went up to 1 3/4 and just cut it right off there. That's a nice width to use at the bottom. You could flip it too. You could go with the blue at the top and the paper, the prettier or the bright side on the bottom. And I wonder what that would look like. I don't want to waste it because I think it won't look as good. So we're going to go this way, just like this sample showed us. So let's grab our Night of Navy panel and our seal. We'll add 5 little tick marks here of adhesive. Check your direction. And it looks like it's going correctly. There's a really small border on this one, so 1/8 of an inch. I'm looking at the corner here, then everything else should fall in place if you have it straight. Press it down, and then we'll take this piece here, and again, we'll add 5 little ticks of adhesive. This one really doesn't matter. I don't think there's a right and wrong way. Now, if you cut your paper or this isn't straight, all you want to do is make sure that this down here is straight. If it's crooked up here, it doesn't matter because it's going to get covered up by that ribbon. So I'm going to again look at up here. So it's lined up, comes down here, nice little border. And then everything else falls in place. Okay. So that looks pretty good. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ribbon. You'll have a yard of this, so you'll have more than enough. I'm just going to cut. And about 1/2 of an inch because I don't want to waste any. I like to use my Scotch tape. You can use maybe Seal Plus, but I think it's easy just to use my tape. I'm lining the ribbon up in the middle of the seam. Fold this over and then add my tape. The thing is, you want to make sure that your tape is secure to that cardstock or else it could pull out. Then we will come over here, just eyeballing it. We can still move it if we need to, if it's not straight. And we'll do the same thing. We will add that, press real good. And then we take a look at it. I think that's looking real good. I'm going to add the knot bow last, or kind of one of the last steps. The next step here is just to grab your dimensionals and add 5 of them to the back side. And we're going to pop this up just to give it some dimension. You don't have to do this. You could adhere this right down to the card front itself, but since I've got ribbon on the back side of here, I want to lift it up so that I don't have, so I know it's going to stay on that front. Now I'm just going to center this on. Actually, let's make sure that paper hug is at the bottom. I don't want it upside down. Okay, that looks good. Now what I'll do is I'm going to create that knot. So I'm going to slide this under. I'm going to keep the ribbon on the spool while I do this. And then I'm just going to hopefully get this flat on the ribbon, flat on the front. And I know you pull with just one side. Oh, I think I'm going to get it. Let's see. Just keep pulling this way. That's much better than my sample cards. I used a little bit too much there, but that's okay. I do want to trim it down a little bit smaller. So I'll just angle cut with these are my ribbon scissors. And I only use them for ribbon. And that looks pretty good. So much better than my other one that's backwards right here. Our little Made with Love, that's going to go over in this area. And we are going to pop it up with, I think I used 3 dimensionals. Just because that ribbon is 1/2 inch, we needed to make sure it really does stick. So we'll see if this works. Once you get it on, you'll be able to tell if it's going to stay on or not. It'll be either really held on good or just wobbly. I'm looking at width, the word width, to make sure it's straight, which it looks like it's good. I'm going to press down, double check that this is not coming off. This is really secured well. So I'm happy with that. Let's go over to our present there, and I'm going to color in Blackberry Bliss. Let's see, what color is this? I don't want Moody Mauve. Blackberry Bliss in Night of Navy. I'm not worried about, usually I have a piece of scrap paper under here, but I've got my silicone craft sheet, so I'm not really too worried about it. I'm going to make the present blue this time. I'm not going to do any kind of shading just because it's a really small image. Okay, got that one done. And then let's grab actually this is Cherry Cobbler. Cherry Cobbler's in there too, so it'll be okay. There's a little white space there, so I'm gonna color that in and then color the bow with the Cherry Cobbler. To add a little special touch, I'm going to take our Wink Stella and I'm just going to jazz this up with a little bit of sparkle. Just covering it all with our Wink Stella. And then, let me see if you can see that sparkle. I doubt it, but it's such a small image. I don't think you can, but if you do, oh yeah, I think you can. See that little sparkle? Looks pretty good. You can stamp a message in there or just leave it blank like I did. Add this in. And then I'm not going to color these pearls. I'm just going to leave them white. And I'm going to use 3 of them. I'm going to take one of the big ones. And I like putting them in the center of the flowers. Not necessarily all of them, but let's put one over here. And then we're going to form our triangle. So let's grab a small one. And I think right here would look good. And then maybe, let's see, that's straight across. We don't want that. Let's go, we don't want 3 in a row that way. Let's see. Sometimes I just like to take the pearl and then just figure it out just by moving it around here. I'm going to put a really small one over here. I think that'll be fine. There. All right, so let's clean up my area here. We can look at both. Oh wait, I did forget this, didn't I? If you wanted, I've got a strip here. You could put a strip of designer paper on this side. I'm going to do that since I have it. Why not use it? I'll just take my seal. You could also, let's see, if I put it over here. I've never done this, so it's not going to look as good because it's only 5 inches. And that white is 5 1/4. So there, it kind of jazzes up that side of the inside and there's less area that you have to write, because some people don't like to write any messages. They just like to sign their name. All right, so that is your card number 2, using the front and the back side of the paper. I love the blue on this one. It's just, in person, it's really, really nice. You can take your Wink Stella too and just splatter the heck out of it to make it shine. Just tap it like this. Make sure you have enough of that Wink Stella in the barrel, and then it should just kind of go everywhere. All right, so number 2 is completed. Put that one over there. And then number 3, it's our bookbinding card. Another thank you card, of course. And just another small area to write. This one uses one of my favorite dies, which is the Unbounded Love die set. I honestly, I just like this oval with the scallop around it. I don't know, it's such a pretty die, and you can just, it can be a standalone. You don't need any cardstock around it. It just looks really nice. All right, your cherry cobbler card base will already come scored on both areas, 3 1/4, 4 1/4, and we'll fold them over. I'm probably not going to burnish this one because I want you to do it so that it comes back here. What you want to really do is make sure that that is going to stay flat. So you might have to do it both ways to get that to lay flat. You want that really to stay down. It's going to be easier in the long run to handle that card base. We're going to be using cherry cobbler, so let me grab that one. And our large thank you. And we need the hearts. I need to clean those hearts, so let's get that done. Gonna clean this one too, because that one's still dirty. And the little present. See how quick and easy that is with our Stampin' Scrub? Works wonderful. Okay, we're going to stamp the back side of this one and our envelope. And I know I cut the dies. Just wait a minute. And it's right in front of me. I'm sure it is. Well, hold on, people. I'm sure it's on my desk. I just can't see it with my old eyes. Just going to steal it from the other kit for right now. All right, so here's our sample once again. We'll just put that over here so you can kind of see it. Grab my scrub, or not my scrub, silicone craft sheet. I'm going to stamp those hearts first. Grab our cherry cobbler. And you notice that the stamps, the photopolymer will stain. And mostly it's from the reds or the oranges. Don't worry about that. It's not going to affect the stamping whatsoever. So got that done. And make sure you're stamping on the smooth side, because there's a rough side. That's the side in case you make a not so good stamped image. You can flip it over, but stamp on the smooth side of that die cut. And that's bright and bold there. I think that's all for that one. So Card Club is meant to be super easy. That way you can you can use the paper, the cardstock, the dies to generate some images or some designs, and then you can use the extra cardstock that I send with the kits to make more. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make that binding over here. So we'll open this up. I like to use tear and tape adhesive for this just because I have much more control on it, and it's super sticky, and I know it's going to stay. If you use normal, just regular adhesive, it may not be strong enough so then over time it could separate. Once I got that tear and tape on here, I'm going to take my bone folder just to get out those air bubbles that are in there, and that way the adhesive stays to the paper. You can use your fingernail, or I like to use my piercing tool because rarely do I have any fingernails whatsoever. And then we've got our 2 strips, and we're going to bring this all the way over. Let's get that bone folder out again, and we'll just smooth this out. And there is our binding part. The rest is pretty straightforward. We're going to take our designer paper and we're going to add it right here. Check our direction. And I'm not using this side because I think it's just a little bit too bold for a big piece. Probably as like a highlight piece would be good. I think, oh boy. I'm looking at that one and thinking that's the correct direction. So we'll center this one around. And then you have a choice to either do the same. I didn't cut that. This is just a regular strip of a piece that was random. So if you did cut this, you could cut it like a puzzle as well. Pretty sure this does. Yeah, this does not match. But I'm going to show you. I'm going to use this one with the flower in the flower, whereas I can show you a little different look as well if you want to just keep it the same design on the spine. I've got my flowers going correctly, so we'll just adhere this right on that binding part. This sentiment, it gets popped up with our dimensionals. I like to use 4 on this scalloped oval from Unbounded Love. I purchased 2 sets of these dies because I like a lot of them in there, and it's easier for me when I'm mass producing kits to run through 2 at once. And usually I double stack my whites, so I get when I go up and back with my die cutting machine, and that gives enough pressure where I can get 4 out of kind of one pass, or up and back pass. All right, got that one on there. Oh, here it is. Look, it was hiding. I told you I knew where it was on my desk somewhere. Here's another strip. And this is, again, a random one. It goes close enough. We're going to add this to the white. I just can't remember if it's the same size. No, it's not. So it means I have to center it. Okay, it's 5 inches rather than 5 1/4. Again, just used our 1/2 inch tick marks with our adhesive, and we'll just add this right in here. And we're almost done, folks. I did not stamp on the back side of this one since I have my cherry cobbler over here. I want to do this step so I don't have to do it later. There we go. This card is almost done. I'm going to take some of those beautiful pearls. I'm going to take my dark cherry cobbler Stampin' Blends, and I'm going to color 1 of the big ones and then 2 of the small ones. By the time I had that capped, they are dry. So we'll just lift these up, and I'm going to put them in the center of the flowers once again. And we'll form our triangle. Ooh, let's go right there. And then one down at the bottom. I'm gonna, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna just put it right here. I know it's not really a center. It could be the back side, but the other ones are way too low. And we still got a triangle being formed there. So that is it for card number 3. Super simple, easy to make, mass produce. And then here are the differences. We've got our flowers on both sides, and we have our back side on the left, and then we have our flower side on the right. You guys can vote. Do you like number 1, number 2, or both? Put your vote in the comment section while I get ready for our final card. It's really hard to decide, but I'll tell you what I think my favorite is after I see a few comments. Actually, I haven't looked at the comments, so I'm going to see if there's any questions. It doesn't look like it, but got Barbara, Carla, Debbie, Denise, Deborah. Let's see, Carla's on there. Lots of people, lots of teammates. Thank you so much for supporting me. Yes, don't forget a thumbs up. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel to 10,500 subscribers. Right now I'm at 10,200 and change. All right, so I don't see any. Oh, I like them both. I only see one vote, but it does take about 20 seconds. While you guys are voting, let me grab my other card here and I can get ready for that. I can clean my stamps. And I need Knight of Navy. No, wait. Yes, Knight of Navy. Oh, Barbara says, I like them both. So we got 2 that say both. Both are pretty, but I like the one that's on the right the best, this one. Awesome. So that's a lot of votes. I like that. I actually like this one. I don't know why. I really liked this one when I made it yesterday, but now that I made it with this one, the only thing I would change is how I cut my paper so that it would be more like a puzzle. And I just use, again, a scrap there. So, and this one here, I used 2 of Blackberry Bliss and 1 Knight of Navy Pearl there. So that gives a little bit of difference as well. So thank you for voting. I appreciate that. Let me just match these up and we're gonna send off with my favorite card, which is Thanks, and it uses the gorgeous ribbon. The Blackberry Bliss in gold 1/2 inch textured ribbon. There's definitely texture to it. And this one here, I'm going to add something to the inside, which I haven't used yet. So I'm going to hopefully remember to do that. Okay, so again, this is horizontal. I'm going to take my white panel, my sentiment, which is from the Christmas labels dies, and then my envelope. I gotta clean that stamp, the hug stamp, and I think hearts, and we should be good to go. Again, I'm using Blackberry Bliss, which is, oh shoot, I just put my thumb in it. Hold on. It's water based, so I'll just rub it on my pants. It should be just fine. Okay, I'm going to grab those hearts. Let's stamp those right in the bottom there. My envelope, that is done. And you notice it didn't stamp very well because I forgot to put the craft sheet on my work surface. Now this is the Christmas labels dies, and I don't know if you can see how it kind of works, where they kind of punch out. See that? It's kind of cool. I guess you could put, I don't know if this would work or not or look good, but it is wide enough to thread ribbon right through. Like that. Oh, that's kind of cool. And you could make a little banner like this, separate it and angle cut that. Or you could just leave it like this. I'd use a really small piece, wrap it around the back side, tape it, and do the same thing if you wanted to incorporate the ribbon there under there. But for me, I am just going to stamp on that label, and it's a thanks in all capital letters. And it fits perfectly on that die cut. See that? It fits perfect. Now the inside panel is going to say, so on the front it says thanks, and for the inside it says for being an amazing customer. So I'm going to get my customer thank you cards ready to go at the end of this month. And that card that I just made earlier, yesterday, or day before, who knows, I'm going to do the same thing. Let's throw that little heart in there on the inside too. We can incorporate that over here. And the same, oh boy, that didn't stamp very well. There must be some little fuzz on that. So let me clean it and we'll start that one over. Blame it on my cat. And we'll add those little hearts. There, that's much better. Okay, so now, very easy to do. So you've got, you'll have your wild wheat. This looks really good with a night of navy. You'll cut your designer paper to what pattern you want. And this is the back side. A little too boring for me. It would be a nice highlight color. And then again, we have a really small border. It's easier to see though because it's lighter than the night of navy. Okay. The next thing you want to do is figure out if you've got your designer paper going the correct way. So this is the correct way. And now we are going to take our ribbon to create this little kind of rectangle effect. So what I did was, let me just roll some of this up. It's a little too much. I'm going to take my seal and I'm going to add a small, like 1/2 inch tick mark there. It doesn't matter because you're not going to see it because your sentiment's going to be over it. So don't worry about that. Even if you have to do 2, that's still okay. You're going to take your ribbon and the end piece goes on that adhesive. And then we'll press it down. Let's cut this off. And then I'm going to just double check that it's fairly in the middle, which it looks good. We'll take our tape and we'll add the tape to the back side to secure this in place. This is my cheap tape. I won't say where I got it, but I'm pretty sure you could guess. All right, so we have that one first. Now this next step is very easy. You're just going to take your ribbon again and you'll cut it 1/2 inch too long on each sides. And then we're going to, again, it doesn't matter. You just got to remember that your sentiment is going to go on it. So figure out how far you want this over. I think it looks like about 1.5 inches to me. And I'm making sure I've got 1/2 inch on both the top and the bottom. And again, we're going to take our tape to secure those back sides on there. So now we have it looking like this. So we got our rectangles here. So you have 3. And fold that over and secure with some tape. Okay, oops, this way. I'm not going to put my sentiment on first. I want to get this on the front. So let's add our dimensionals once again, because we've got our ribbon on the back side. I tend to use dimensionals if that happens. Press those babies down, and we'll take those backings off with our piercing tool, something sharp. It goes so much easier. And then our card base. Oh, I didn't stamp the back side of this one. Darn it. So Debbie doesn't have to do this tomorrow. I am going to stamp it for her. Hint, hint. Guess what you're doing tomorrow? Actually, I'll be doing some other things for my card club first. Actually, my BOGO sale. I'm having a BOGO sale, first time ever, at my house this weekend on Saturday. So if you're local to me, come on over, 9 to 2. I'll have free coffee and lots of stamps, bundles, paper, and it's a buy one, get one. So pick out all of your retired products. A lot of it's new or very lightly used. And then whatever, say you pick out $50, place a $50 order on the spot with me, and then you get to take home all those retired products for free. So just my little way of giving back to people that really like to stamp. Demonstrators are invited as well. There's lots of hobby demonstrators around our area up north too. I did boost it, so my Facebook ad, so that it would get up towards northern Vermont. Shared it on my personal page too this afternoon, so hopefully some of my stamping friends from up north will come down. All right, we got that centered on. I looked at the A and N and centered it amongst that ribbon piece going down there. Let's work with our inside panel. And I got another scrap. This is 3/4 inch, so we're just going to add that to the bottom. Again, we'll just do a little bit of adhesive. No need to put it all the way down. Look at those flowers. I think this is actually supposed to go this way, but it's a scrap, so I don't think it really matters too much. If it goes over the edge like mine is, you just take your paper snips and you can just trim it right down. Okay, very easy to do that. This one I'm going to leave the pearls white so that they can be seen. And I'm going to grab, I'm going to use just 3 of them. One large one, and I think it'll go right here. There's a piece, an area there that's just blue. And then 2 small ones. Let's go down here. And, ooh. No, I don't want to do that. I'm going to put one over here. There. We are done. All right. So on this one here, I did color the pearls with Night of Navy because we're coloring over white. It's lighter than normal. So there are those 2 with just different pearls, really. That's the only difference. But this is my favorite one just because I think it's looks so rich with the ribbon here with the Blackberry Bliss, the gold. And it just brings out the richness of the designer paper as well. All right, so that's card number 4 that you'll get to make 2 of those. And then you can make 2 of the cherry cobbler. We'll call this one the cherry cobbler thank you card. And then we have 2 of the Blackberry Bliss made with love. And then finally, I know it doesn't really kind of go with the color scheme here, but I love Wild Wheat, and I had to put this one in. I had to use it. And it looks, let's do this one. This is the correct one. And there you go. So these are the 4 card designs for the month of October. Again, you will receive, let's grab it here, a full pack of the Iridescent Pearls Basic Jewels, which are great because you can use your Stampin' blends to color them and coordinate. You'll also receive 8 card kits, 4 of each design. You'll get a pack of the ribbon. It's going to come in one of our cello bags with the name of it and also the item number, how it's sold, 10 yards, where it came from, mini catalog, item number, the price, and then you have your black or your 4 pieces of cardstock. I'm including basic white thick, wild wheat, shaded spruce, and berry burst. Those are all colors that are in the designer paper. So now what you could do is just take, you can make your 2 cards with this and follow one of the designs. Say you want to use, let's see, I don't have my, let's see, actually, I would use, for the berry burst, I think the best one that would go is actually this one here because of the lighter color of flowers here. So those are the 4 sheets of cardstock. So again, 4 sheets of cardstock. You got your pearls. You've got 8 card kits. You got instructions in color printed, and you'll get the PDF via email on the day it ships or the day after. Videos for each card plus an introduction. And if you would like to join for this month only for new customers or returning customers, let me just, oh, I don't think I can zoom in. Actually, let me just go like that. There is the link. I will also have it on the description box. And it's not on my website yet. I am waiting to work on my website tomorrow with my website developer because I haven't been updating it yet just because I didn't have the time with all the state stuff, but now I've got some time and I want to update that. I just can't remember how to update it because I haven't been like working on it consistently. So she's going to take the time. It's all free. Well, like she's such a nice person. And she's going to help me. I'm going to walk through the areas that I really change a lot every month. So it'll be super helpful to be able to get that done quickly. So again, we are done with our Tuesday class. I will be coming back next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern time to create something else. And let me just double check if there's any questions. The peepers gobbled up all the hotel rooms. Well, there's not going to be a lot of, well, there's still a lot of foliage left. I'm really, really surprised. Yeah, so it doesn't look like there's any questions for tonight. I will, if you do, just shoot me an email or you can just put something in the comment box. I will sign off. I'll clean this up and I will send this out tomorrow with the video, live video link. So if you need to rewatch it, you can. If you don't, that's okay. It's still there. If you're not on my email list, please sign up. You can grab the link in the description box once I get that all uploaded and ready to go. It does take a little bit of time, about 20-30 minutes for me to go back in and add all the description and such and get it ready to go. So if you see it taken down offline, that's the reason why, and I'll put it right back up as soon as I get everything done. So you guys have a great evening, great week. Debbie, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Thanks for